Hello and back again on the Unite Pieces channel. Today we will be recapping Honest Thief, a 2020 action thriller. The movie tells the story of a notorious bank robber named Tom Carter, who decides to turn himself into the FBI and return the stolen money in exchange for a reduced sentence. However, things take a dangerous turn when corrupt agents within the bureau try to take the money for themselves and frame Tom for murder. Warning: spoilers ahead. The movie begins with Tom Carter, who is seen breaking into a money safe. It is revealed that this is the last heist he has planned. He then goes to find work at a self-storage warehouse where he meets Annie, a graduate student. As Tom prepares to make an honest living, he finds himself chatting with Annie, and Annie, on the other hand, seems to find Tom charming. 1 year later, Tom and Annie were in a relationship. He takes her to an apartment that he wants to buy for them. Annie reveals that she loves the place, and because of that Tom prepares to create a stable future for the two of them. In town, FBI agent Myers goes to work with his dog. He tells his boss, Agent Baker, that he is getting a divorce, and his wife allows him to keep his dog. A short while later, Tom called the office to turn himself in and revealed himself to be an in-and-out bandit, a nickname they gave him. He later complained that he hated the nickname. Since the FBI had previously gotten several bandit confessions, they didn't believe him and started asking why he wanted to turn himself in. Tom told them that he was in love with a woman, which made him want to get away from the criminal world and he wanted a fresh start. However, not convinced, Baker then sent two agents, Nivens and Hall, to interview Tom, to follow up on the truth Tom was telling. In short, when the two agents arrived at Tom's apartment, he told them about a storage unit that contained all the money he had hidden from past robberies, which he now kept in self-storage. The two agents go to the storage unit and begin to search it. At first they are skeptical, as they only see a stack of cardboard boxes that appear to contain laws. However, they are surprised to find that Tom is telling the truth, as the boxes have millions of dollars in them. Seeing all the money, Nivens tries to get Hall involved in a scheme where they will take the money themselves, as Nivens knows that Hall needs extra money to support his family. Hall reluctantly agrees and does just that. On their way out, the agents meet up with Annie, and they lie saying that they know Tom. The agents then return to Tom's apartment. Tom, who thought everything was fine, didn't suspect a thing. However, when Nivens pulled out his gun to execute Tom, Tom realized that he had been set up. Fortunately, the plan was disrupted when Baker showed up at the apartment. In a fit of rage, Nivens shoots and kills Baker. Tom then fights with Nivens and Hall, causing him to fall out of the window with Nivens, just as Annie passes by. Although Annie is horrified, Tom immediately tells her to run as they move away from the corrupt agents. Meanwhile, Nivens and Hall try to cover up the story, with Nivens wanting to frame Tom and Hall also knowing that Tom took his gun. Tom then drove Annie to a safe place. However, Annie demanded Tom to be frank about his past, which made Tom tell the truth to Annie, but he emphasized that he had really left the past behind, and wanted to do right by her. Annie, who heard that, felt very disappointed, not even listening when Tom tried to be frank about his intentions. They then went to find a safe place. Nivens and Hall, on the other hand, chased them on the road until Tom's car crashed. Fortunately, he and Annie hid in the parking garage until they lost Nivens, and they managed to escape. At the same time, Myers goes to the apartment only to find Baker's dead body, which he later informs Baker's wife about his death. Tom and Annie then went to the playground for a while. To be honest, she was still angry about discovering the truth. Tom then told her about how his father died, being accused of embezzling the employees' money, and his father killed himself by driving a car at high speed and crashing it into a tree. He admits that robbing has given him life, but everything changes when he meets Annie. Annie slowly begins to forgive him, and Tom drives her home safely. In the morning, Myers investigates Tom's past with Nivens and Hall, after they lied to Myers about who killed Baker. They find out that his real last name is Dolan, and he is a former Marine, who specializes with explosives and demolitions. At the same time, Tom also digs up information on Nivens. Annie then calls Tom, revealing that she will get the footage from the storage warehouse, which will be proof of Nivens and Hall's involvement in the theft of the money. However, when Annie goes to retrieve it, she is discovered by Nivens, who attacks her. Although Annie puts up a fight, Nivens manages to take her down. He tries to shoot Annie dead, but Hall intervenes and takes the security footage from Annie. Tom finds Annie and takes her to the hospital. He then calls Nivens and Hall, and Myers listens in from his own phone. Tom expresses his anger at Nivens for attacking Annie. Although he denies it, Tom still vows to go after him. Suddenly, a nearby officer recognizes Tom and chases after him. Nivens and Hall learn of this and chase after him as well. Luckily, Tom loses the other cop and hides until he sees the agents, and he crashes his car into theirs. Nivens shoots Tom, but he runs away and gets away. Tom meets up with Myers, and they briefly fight with him until he convinces him that he is on his side and he didn't kill Baker. After he tells Myers about Annie being hospitalized, the agent goes to sit in his room, where he then sees Nivens coming to finish the job, but he leaves after seeing Myers. Later that night, Hall is in bed with his wife, Beth, deepening their feelings. He then goes to the garage, but is ambushed by Tom. Hall said that everything was Nivens' doing, and he gave Tom the security footage. He also warns Tom that Nivens will try to kill Annie. Hearing that, Tom immediately goes to visit her and sees that Annie is awake. He managed to get her out and took her to a safe room. Later, Annie joins Tom as he pursues Nivens. Tom has planted a bomb in his house and warns him over the phone, giving him enough time to escape before he blows up the house. Tom knows Nivens will take him to the place where he and Hall keep their loot. After which Annie waits for Myers in the storage unit to find the rest of Tom's money. Returning to Tom, he finds Nivens and Hall there, which leads to a shootout in which Hall is killed. Nivens tries to escape again and leaves in his car until Tom calls him and says that he put another bomb in his car, a pressure-sensitive one that will explode even with just a small movement. Nivens had no choice, opting to pull over and wait for the bomb disposal team to arrive. When the team got there, they saw that the bomb was not working. And at the same time, Myers had a recording in which Nivens and Hall explicitly discussed killing Baker and Nivens' ambition to carry the stolen money. Myers then ordered the FBI to arrest him. Outside the FBI headquarters, Annie talks to Myers, asking him to be lenient with Tom. Shortly after, Tom himself calls Myers to turn himself in, and Myers agrees to try to help Tom get a lighter sentence. The end. How can a thief be honest? This is what makes this movie so interesting. The film offers a story that is so interesting and full of learning, telling the story of a thief who tries to repent and change his behavior. We are invited to reflect on the meaning of true honesty, and face the reality that sometimes the line between right and wrong is not always as clear as we imagine.